I can't even tell what I look like right now. I know I have my sunglasses on because guess why? It's No Excuses November. I didn't even introduce the show. I'm not giving you an excuse. It's fucking ridiculous. That's right. It's No Excuses November. My birthday month is over. Yeah, I know. It's Halloween. We're going to discuss that in a little bit. I do want to give a shout out to any senior or transfer student or someone who is going back to school, anyone who is applying to a college or higher ed. 11/1, November 1st is the deadline for a lot of those applications. So shout out to you for getting them in. Shoot your shot, man. Aim high. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares if they say no? Who cares? They're like, you're going to have to sell your house to go to college anyway. So like, whatever. Anyway, props to you for doing it. No Excuse November. Here's the deal. I arguably have not been looking the best. And while I don't care that much about it, I do in my own home, like when I look in the mirror and I'm like, ooh. So I am actually getting my hair done tomorrow, like cut and stuff. But I really need to kind of like get a rein on, the excessive drinking, the excessive eating, the sugar intake is just OOC. So No Excuses November is going to be like, Nicole, you need to stick to something for 21 days. And this is a huge deal because I am a good 3 person. I can stick to something for 3 days. But more than that, I really don't stick to things very well. I forget that I'm trying to stick to something and then I have something in my mouth or I have pushed the snooze button and then I'm like, damn it, and then it's ruined. So I'm just going to try. Let's all try. No excuses. No excuses, man. So speaking of, I'm getting my hair. So last night I was looking up haircuts because I feel like I need a change. We're going into winter in a little bit. And, sometimes you might change your hair color and sometimes you might, I don't wear short hair well. There are a lot of things that don't look good on me. But I, of course, was like, hey, what are the haircuts for women, females in winter 2022, in winter 2023, which technically, I guess it's still winter 2022. I don't know how you work that out in your head. But anyway, I just mean like after the new year. So we'd be in 2023, but I guess it's still 2022's winter. Okay. Anyway, this is the look. This is the list that I found. And this was actually a list from 3 different like fashion magazines or whatever. And that's probably my first problem. I should have Googled like basic hairstyles or haircuts for normal people and maybe something else would have come up. But this is what I found. Number 1, the wet look. So the wet look is literally my look every day that I wash my hair. Because I don't really dry my hair. I literally just walk with my hair wet. So I'm already crushing that one and it doesn't look good. Number 2, the sideway part. So I guess sideway parts were not in, even though I think I went back to mine. But now it's like the sideway. So like they're not just here. They want it like here. So I don't know. You try that. I've got a cowlick. I'm not sure if that's going to work for me, but whatever. Low ponytails. So I tried that one today. And as I kept looking at myself, I kept raising the ponytail higher and higher. Because I was like, yeah, that's not flattering for me. But again, just me and my preference. But I've done that a lot. Bedhead. Is that a fucking style? Like I get it for dudes, but for girls, that's me every other day that I don't wash my hair. So I'm crushing that one too. Peekaboo braids. How cute is that? Like you've got your long hair and then you've got like 2 little braids coming out like this. I don't get it, but okay. Flippy updo. Okay, so this is basically like your 50s housewife, like they're all curled that we all know is going to look fucking ridiculous on me. The it girl ear tuck. This is when like it's very sleek and you're like that. It's like super. Yeah, that's that's not style. That is literally tucking your hair behind your ears. So if you're it girl, whatever. The last one is the Barbie high ponytail. And so this is not my Barbie high ponytail because I guess it would even be higher, but I'm not going to be able to rock that either. So these are all looks that either I have attempted, I currently do, or just are stupid. So I got nothing as far as like a haircut other than the girl mullet, which they're calling like a shag with fringe or something. Whatever. It's just a fucking mullet for a girl, okay? And I know people love their mullets, so moving on, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I could show up and have a shaved head. I don't know. Updates. I am hosting a fucking nosegay making party at my house on Saturday because it is homecoming again. I know, for my two boys. And I decided that, you know what, I did such a stellar job last year. I'm going to save myself $100 and I'm going to make these nosegays myself. So I decided to invite some friends over in the event that they wanted to join. And here's the deal. It's 2:00 at my house. If you're in town and you would like to join, come on. You bring your flowers of choice. I will have the scissors, I'll have the ribbon, I'll have the pins, and I will of course have adult beverages because nothing says fun like a fucking nosegay making party without adult beverages. I mean, no, you gotta have them. What could go wrong, right? But a couple of things just of note. If I say that the party is at 2, it's fine if you come late. I don't care. That's fine. Do not come early. Do not ever show up early to my house, ever. And this goes for all of you. Like if I say come at 5:30, 5:35 is perfect. You know, if you come at 5:15, I am just out of the shower. I am drying my hair. I am not ready. I need every bit of time to get my shit together for people to come over. Yes, I know that's crappy planning on my part. I'm ADD. I don't show up early. Late is always good for me. Later the better sometimes. Second update. I just jumped into last year and I have now attempted the Wordle twice. I'm super proud of myself because the first time I attempted it, I did not read the directions and I fucked myself. Because I didn't realize that you could use the letter again. I thought that you couldn't. So that was my problem with my first one. My second try, I got it on the 6th try. Yes. So I felt pretty smart. And I also felt like, wow, this definitely is a good use of time for someone who doesn't have a lot going on at all. So there's that. And it also made me feel smart. Okay. I love Jason Bateman. And for those of you who don't know exactly who I'm talking about, Ozark. That's all I'm going to say. Such a great show. He has a podcast that I love, love, love with 2 other dudes that I love, love, love. And I'm not going to pump their tires anymore. But anyway, I was listening to one of the episodes and he made me laugh so hard because he was talking about sweating. And he said, that's your body crying. And I was like, oh my God. My body cries all the time. Why is my body crying? My body must not like me, or my body is just like, is it crying because it's laughing so hard? Maybe, because I entertain myself a lot. I don't know, but it just made me giggle a lot. It's actually been kind of like a slow week in the news, I feel like. I mean, we've got Elon and all his stuff, and taking nothing away from the man. He's so smart, but I mean, would you pay to be on Twitter? I don't know. I'm not even following what the plan is for Twitter, so I'm not, whatever. DB1, i.e. douchebag number 1, is still in the news, and he is still supported by DB2, douchebag number 2, and around their fake weird company. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there are a lot of douchebags in the news, I know, but 2 that are always front and center somehow. So you can figure that out or DM me and I'll tell you. There was a brawl between the Michigan State and the Michigan football teams after their game, which Michigan won the game. And in the locker room afterwards, I have seen just like bits and bobs of a big old brawl. And one player from Michigan State is literally beating another player with his helmet. That's too much, man. It's too much. Okay? I don't know what someone could say to you to make you want to do that. But I think we all just need to take a step back and maybe think of puppies or puppies. Or maybe just like your grandmother. Okay? Not okay. Okay, finally, I will say this. This is why hockey is the best fucking sport in the world. So there is a team in Calgary, that's in Canada, and they have a coach. Their team is the Calgary Flames, and their coach is Coach Suter, an older gentleman. I think he's been the coach for a really long time. He is very much I call it how I see it. I'm a man of few words, and the words that I use are going to be extremely important. And that's that. So he is asked in an after the game interview, which I know there's a better way to say that, but I don't know what it is right now. One of their star players who was just traded from the Panthers up to Calgary. He is really good looking, just a side note there, and a good player. He leaves in the first period, just like runs out. And then he comes back. And so the question is posed to Daryl Suter. He's like, where did Huberdeau go, during the first period? And without missing a beat, and he doesn't change his expression, it's always just the no expression face. He goes, I guess he had to take a shit. That is priceless. That is the kind of honesty that we need nowadays. Now, whether or not that was true, I don't know, but it's funny, and it definitely begs other questions to be asked, but no one's going to ask them because it's like, what are you going to say after that, right? So anyway, hilarious. Again, plug for the NHL, best sport ever. So we just came off of Halloween. Just yesterday was Halloween. And again, I love, love, love Halloween. There are a few things that of note. We definitely had fewer trick-or-treaters, and we seem to have fewer trick-or-treaters every year. And I don't know if it's because our neighborhood, like people are growing up, or the people that are moved in are like, they're so little that like you take your baby in the pumpkin outfit to 3 houses and then you're like, I'm exhausted, which I totally get. But anyway, fewer people, but still some solid costumes. I did not have any show up where I was like, seriously? So that was a bonus. My husband seems to think it's because our house was not decorated for Halloween. Sorry. It escaped me. I just don't. I'm sorry. Every time I put something out on my door, birds make a nest and then birds fly in the house. It's a whole thing, and it's ridiculous. So it did rain a bit last night, which may have had a reason, it contributed to the lack of traffic. However, you missed out if you did not come to my house because we only buy like good candy. And by good candy, I mean chocolate. Now, I know some people are like, ooh, I'm the candy person. I'm a chocolate person. And most people in my house are chocolate people. So I cannot buy the candy until now the day of Halloween because we have thieves in our house and they will wake up at all hours of the night and find the candy that's hidden and they will destroy it. They will crush it. And I am actually talking about myself as well, especially if I've had a few drinks because no candy, no chocolate is safe. So I go to the store yesterday to buy my last minute candy and stamps because I do still write thank you notes. And so do my children because I force them to. So I pull into the parking lot and lo and behold, who isn't sitting there getting into their car? Fatty. Well, I haven't seen her since her Ironman where she qualified for Kona. Yay, Fatty. Then on the other, like right next to her is my sister-in-law. And the three of us haven't seen one another since my birthday night. Remember when the noise complaint came from the neighbors? Yeah, those were the people. So I'm like, oh my gosh, hey guys, what are you doing? And we're all buying candy because we all have the same problem where if the candy's there, you know it, you find it, you eat it, and then the self-loathing starts and it's a vicious cycle. So we just try and like nip that in the bud. So I go in to the store. I buy the candy. It's Christmas candy. It's December 31st and it's Christmas candy. There's Santa Claus. There's a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The Reese peanut butter cups are a Christmas tree. I'm like, what? Did I miss something? Can you not wait one day to put the Christmas candy out so I can just have that? Now people think I'm giving old candy from like last Christmas, which I'm not. It was fresh. So anyway, that's weird. Then I leave. I come home and everyone's like, did you buy the candy? Did you buy the candy? And I'm like, yes, don't go near the candy. So we got it under lock and key. No one knows where it is except for me. Because once I got into the car in the parking lot, I wasn't even leaving yet. I text a picture of a bunch of wrappers, which I have, and I text it to Fatty and my sister-in-law, and I'm like, just asking for a friend. Is 16 Kit Kats too much for someone to consume immediately after buying the candy at the store while you're still in the car in the parking lot? ? Again, asking for a friend. It was me. Fatty responds back with, that's fucking disgusting. What kind of animal would do that? With her own picture of her wrappers. And I was like, this is why we're like separated at birth. Now, my sister-in-law, who has just started a new like kick of, I'm not sugaring. She hid hers in the way back. Super fucking smart. Not a smart person here. So anyway, I definitely dug into the candy and then the self-loathing did start and then it kept going because every time I'd have to answer the door, we have Frances, my dog, on the leash because otherwise she'll eat anyone who comes to the door. And there are a lot of little people and then they'll get smacked down the steps. It's a whole thing. So anyway, I ate a lot of candy. So no excuses November is in effect right now. There's no candy to be eaten. In fact, I haven't eaten anything all day except for the disgusting celery juice that I fucking hate. But I've read that it's super great for you and it's a good detoxer. It is the worst. I'd rather drink my own urine. But anyway, back to the candy. If you give raisins, don't do that. Raisins aren't candy. Raisins not a treat. Raisins are gross. Like they don't belong in the dessert category at all. Oatmeal raisin? No, thank you. Raisins in your own oatmeal? No. Raisins on top of any like dessert that you're trying to pass off as dessert? Not a dessert. Not a dessert. Raisins are gross. Even in bread pudding. Hate them. Back in the day when we used to get like apples, you know, like you'd go to someone's house and they'd be like giving you like apples because they've been to the apple picking place and they have like 10,000 apples. Well, you can't get apples now because number one, there was the whole like syringe. If it's not in a wrapper, you can't eat it and your mom and dad would throw it away. Number two, do you know how much an apple is now? Holy shit. You might as well just give someone $1,000 scholarship for college if you're giving apples away. And if you're giving apples away, you are definitely doing something that I'm not in the stock market because I need to know. Anyway, raisins, apples, pretzels, and any of the pixie sticks, that's the worst. Pixie stick. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially the Fun Dip in like a straw. And it's literally straight sugar and God only knows what else. So gross. Gross. Dum-dums. A runner-up. Nobody wants a fucking dum-dum. That's what you get when you go to the damn doctor. That's not a treat. Chocolate, people. And the higher quality, the better. Now, if you are the man and you give the king-size bars, you go ahead. I love that you do that. I don't do that. But my favorite thing is when the kids come up to the door and it's getting a little later and you're like, you can take more than one. And literally their eyes are like, it's like they themselves have won the lottery and they dig in and they're like, and then they come back and they're like, wait, I'm going to get one for my mom. I'm going to get one for my dad. I'm going to get one for my brother. I'm going to get one for my dog. Like they're super excited. I'm like, take the candy because it cannot live in our house at all because it's no excuse. It's November and we're not having it. Celebrity costumes. Okay. I have mentioned how I am not a huge fan of the slutty costumes for myself. And I applaud anyone who like is going to pull that off and look great or not. You do you. However, one of my favorite things is when celebrities who, some of them have like banging bodies where you're like, oh yeah, you totally could have gone that route, but you didn't. So top 3 costumes for me, and I'm circling back to the person who has the banging body but didn't. Number 3, if you did not see Lizzo, she was dressed up as Marge Simpson and it was spot on. So good. By the way, love Lizzo and her Instagram handle is like Lizzo Be Eaten and I love that. Love her. Number 2, P. Diddy, also known as Puff Daddy previously, also known as Sean Combs, when as the Joker, like Heath Ledger's Joker, it was awesome. It was awesome. You could not tell who that was. That's like one of my most favorite costumes is when you don't know. Who's that? Who is that? Oh, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Love that. Number 1, Kerry Washington. Kerry with a K and a Y. Y'all, she was on that show Scandal. She went as Lionel Richie from the cover of the like All Night Long album. Oh my God. First of all, she's stunning. Second of all, she's the best figure. And she goes as Lionel Richie. I would not have known it was her. It's so good. You got to Google it because it's just, she gets number 1 best costume that I saw. I'm sure there are others that I didn't see, but that was mine. So not so deep thoughts. So today, I really needed a pick me up, and I always rely on my music sometimes to really, get me out of a funk if I'm in a funk or whatever. So I like to have my finger on the pulse of what's happening, as much as I can. So I listen to New Music Friday on Spotify and I put on New Music Friday because I didn't listen to it last Friday and it sucked eggs. Every song was like, oh, so slow. Is no one putting out bangers anymore? What's going on? It literally made me want to cry. I kept skipping and I was like, this is awful. I got to just go back to my regular liked music. Number 2, can someone please put together some kind of a cheat sheet or a tutorial, or maybe just come to my house and show me the ins and outs of gambling, and not the idea of you're putting your money on something and then you're likely going to lose your money. I don't understand all of the parlays and the over-unders and the blinds and the sports book this and I don't get it. I need help, please. Number 3, next week you're going to need to vote. Please don't just vote for a candidate or a policy because somebody is on a football team or a TV show that you like and vote for what they do. Just try and look up voting in Virginia and it'll show you. Just put your state in there and it'll show you who's who. So at least you can know the names, maybe what they want to do or not do. Just a thought, but just get out and vote. Because it's your right and not other countries don't have it. So just do it. Okay. Sorry, this was all jumping around, but no excuses in November. I'll be back next week with something really tight and awesome and a new hairdo to boot. So in the meantime, it's going to be fine. And again, nosegay party, Saturday, my house, 2:00. Don't come before.